welcome to my basement, everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. It's the beginning of a weekend, and who better to celebrate a weekend with than my buddy, Jose Don Fubar Sanchez. I almost called you Franchise.
Franchise. Don Franchise.
The franchise, Sanchez. The Sanchez franchise. I love it, man.
Here.
How are you doing?
Doing all right, man. Just living the dad life.
Yes, I know what that's like. You're still in the new kind of glow phase of it all, aren't you?
Yeah. She's just 2 months old.
Incredible.
Every day it's amazing. She's literally the best. I think she might be. We got lucky.
Babies are the best.
She's the best baby of all time.
They are incredible little human beings that are all about light and love, and just they're reflecting the adoration that you give them, right? And they teach you so much, even though they're
tell.
tiny
Like
little...
people say, like, when babies are surrounded by love and the atmosphere is just exuding positive energy, they could just tell. And she's always like,
yeah, it really
have the teeth. But.
It really kind of it sort of brings it all into sharp focus, doesn't it? Why we're all here, right?
That's it.
That connection, that sense of love, right?
Like it's passed down. All this stuff behind me.
Yeah.
She's screwed. I don't know where she's going to put it. But it's all waiting for her.
Yeah. My kid is, that's nice, Dad. I like Roblox. Can I just play on my iPad, please?
Look at this library.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at the library. Roblox, Dad. Roblox.
Yeah, Roblox. God. That's the way it is. Listen, it's great to see everybody. We are live. I think you could probably tell that. Alpha Cat is here. B Honeydew is here. Preston Rickwood, unknown. Ooh, a return. KFXG is here. Robert Sullivan's. Great to see everybody. Listen, Vic's Basement is brought to you by the good folks at the Gaming Stadium. They are Canada's leader in online esports tournament facilitation. They have things happening every single weekend, so do follow them on Twitter. Get caught up with them. You can also join up at tgs.gg. So thank you to the Gaming Stadium to help us make Vic's Basement possible. That's fantastic, and it's great to see you back on the show. It's been a little while. Nodding 56 says Jose is looking great. Glad to see you.
Thanks.
You are looking great.
It's all the lifting, guys. Heavy lifting, baby lifting. Have a baby, you just hold them.
You're doing curls with a baby.
Baby curls.
Baby curls.
Because the weight keeps going up. It's just like you got to get stronger. It's not the same weight. You're like, I keep using these.
Tell me about it. Yeah, my kid can carry me now. It's insane.
Because she's on the rhubarb plan. Rhubarb.
Yeah. You know what I'm missing? And I tell her this, and my wife knows this as well. I miss the days of the baby carrier. I
rock this baby carrier we have.
Yeah.
Like the wife's wearing it right now, and I was like, I might need to bring my baby in later. But I threw that thing on, and I was like, but we have like this wrap. It's just like it looks like a long scarf.
Yeah.
You wrap it around your waist, over the shoulders, throw the baby in it, and she's just chilling.
Yeah.
She's just chilling. And I was like, she good? I did a stream with it the other day. I was streaming on Twitch, and I was just like, had just a baby in my...
I think that is what's going to be happening to Twitch. It's been around a little while now, so we're going to see a lot more parents navigate, sort of continue to...
I know a lot of the top-tier streamers that are friends of mine, babies.
They're all having babies.
It's the thing to do. During the pandemic, it was like the coronial generation is growing. It's all it is. We're like, what are you, Gen X, Gen Z? No, we are the coronials. We all came out because our parents couldn't get away from each other.
Yeah, exactly. How does it feel to have your daughter in the baby carrier, though? Were you ever worried that she could breathe?
No, it was funny because literally a couple of days ago, I had a family, like when I was born, she was born a month later, and we lived next door to each other.
Yeah,
and so we've been family friends for our entire life. And she was coming to visit because it's been a year, and she had a kid a year ago, and so I was like, I'm gonna put the baby on. My wife was gone, so I did it myself. Baby's like, normally it's supposed to be like right on your chest and just so you can hear your heartbeat. And I put it on, and she's like, I got this picture where her head is just looking at me from down here, like, but this is wrong. So I was like, I'm going to take you out and just hold you.
Jeeves S says, COVID baby boom. Yeah, it's crazy. All of the people at What's Good Games, Andrea and
Brittany.
Pardon me?
Brittany.
And Brittany, yeah, they're all having kids right now. It's insane, which is great. It's great to see. Listen, we've got a bunch of things that I want to get caught up on today. This is kind of like I want to do this a little more often, so I'm going to reach out to have you back when you can be here. But I want to
literally go nowhere. Raise
Bar
that child over
Fridays.
there.
But I want to recap sort of the stuff that's going on and sort of bounce off and have the conversation with you, but also with you, chat. And for those that are listening, because we'll post this as an audio podcast, you can come and join. Usually it's around 3 o'clock Pacific time. Live video stream on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/EPNTV. We have the best chat on the internet, I like to say, because the people here are incredibly savvy and smart, and they know the history of this industry, and they've got a lot of respect for the development of games.
Except for the one guy who would click thumbs down. Screw that guy.
Except for that one guy. I don't know who that is.
One guy. There's always one.
Generally, the best chat on the internet, except for that one guy. Sam IM111 says, "Hey, EP," and we've got Mike Ferrer in there. So much happened this week. I had to catch this live. Yes, this was a crazy week, and I'm sure I'm going to forget stuff. You guys can remind us in the live chat, but I thought
Half-Life 3, guys. Unbelievable. Who saw it coming?
Which one?
Half-Life 3.
Half-Life 3, yes. Well, we do have some Valve news, but let's talk a little bit about the ongoing shortages with next-generation consoles, and I think even more specific to the PlayStation 5 because it is selling incredibly well. The PlayStation 5 continues to be a really hot seller, a hot commodity out there, and now there's speculation that there's going to be a redesign, and they keep coming into the stores. Yeah. And they sell out instantly, and scalpers have been picking them up. So I brought you on, Jose, because I wanted to find out how you're going to solve this problem. What are you going to do?
I'm just going to wait it out. I want the PS5 Slim. You know what's coming. It's like it's not going to cool down as fast. It's going to get really hot really quick. You can play for about half an hour.
How long do you think we are going to have to wait for this? I mean, we've got chip shortages, we've got all kinds of, supply dilemmas and constraints, and
it's such a weird thing because it's like you don't know if it's, the scalpers buying them all. Obviously, the chip shortage, but like with the pandemic on top of it, is that going to be something that's going to continually delay the process of putting out more units? Or is this just going to be something where they're like, we should start PS6 right now. If we start it now, it'll be ready. Oh, also confirmed the next PlayStation is going to be the PS6. Just, you heard it here first.
You're confirming it today.
Confirmed today.
This is what we do. We break news on Vic's Basement.
Breaking news, guys. It's a big news in gaming this week. But May 28th, 2021, PS6.
What would you like to see changed on the PlayStation 5 if they're going back to the drawing board on any of this stuff?
I mean, it's so weird. Like, it plays games. I would love for them to have just kept what they did with the original PS3, where I could play my PS1 and PS2 games on it.
Yeah.
Simplify that so I don't have to continually buy the games on the library. Don't pull a Nintendo where you just keep changing the unit of how the game comes out. Like, that's a disc. It's a small disc. It's a mini cartridge. Don't lick it. It's like, quit changing the form factor. You know what the Xbox has done and the PlayStation have done the whole time? CDs. Okay, it's CDs. I went to Blu-rays. Ooh, okay, that's a big enough jump. That's fine. I just don't understand why they feel the need to just have such a. I mean, it's such a pain in the ass that people can't get it. It's like when the Wii came out. Remember when the Wii came out? I was just like, everybody was getting Wiis. This is bananas, and they were sold out everywhere, and then they weren't. Yeah. But it didn't take as long as the new generation of consoles is to restock. Yeah. Because there wasn't a pandemic.
What do you think it is about the PlayStation 5 in particular that everybody has got to have it now? Because the software library is there's some excellent games on it, but it's not that massive and it's not that kind of next gen yet. There's a lot of cross gen titles out there right now.
Yeah, it's the fact of, even with the Xbox Series X, it's like it was that new when it first came out. So everybody's like, got to get on the first cycle that, the new stuff's going to be coming out. Now we've had a few months, half a year, and you're just like, still, this is the time. Now we got E3 coming out. There's probably going to be a lot of cool deals and games. Like I want to play the PS4 stuff on there's going to be a lot of PS4 deals coming up for E3. They're going to have like, it's just for the PlayStation, especially, you just feel like it's E3 season. Yeah, there's going to be new stuff coming out. We got new Ratchet and Clank is right around the corner. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Returnal, a new game. I was so excited. I'm like, new games are coming out right now.
Yes,
this is a good time.
Is
it worth going out and spending $700-800 for? No, it's not. Just wait a second.
Yeah, don't buy the scalper PlayStation. How did you get yours? Did you have?
I got a pre-order.
Yeah, you just got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kudos to the EP Discord. Somebody was like, remember when they had the fiasco where they went up and they went on a day before on Walmart and
Yeah.
they weren't supposed
Yes.
to go. I was up at night. It was like midnight, and somebody's like, I heard Walmart just did a restock. Went on the sure did. Boop,
And you got
pre-order.
it.
Got
Bam.
it.
That's awesome. Yeah, it shouldn't be this crazy. Of course, Sony's not going to be at E3, as we know it. But
Neither
I'm
am
sure
I.
they're working with Jeff and Summer Game, and we're not going to be there either. Yeah, yeah. Screw that. We're not going.
I'm not going either.
But I'm sure they're going to be at Summer Games Fest. I'm sure they're going to have some kind of huge event, and like they just had the Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West reveal, and it looked incredible. But I think there is an element of like they're pissing people off at this point, right? If they're showing off all the things that this machine can do,
But you can't
and people
not.
can't get it, but they got to. Yeah, I know, right? Yes.
You'd be like, sorry, you can't get it. But when you do, this is one of the things that's going to be waiting for you.
So, if I've read that they aren't going to change that much, and I think a lot of it is speculation until Sony actually does an official reveal of whatever they may do. Yeah, but
they already got their red controller.
I've got one. Are you a fan of the way that the PlayStation 5 is set up right now, or would you like them to change things?
No, I mean, I'm obviously I like that it works. I wish I missed that the PS3, the simplicity, like even the PS4, just the way it looked, the aesthetic of it. It's the navigation of the PS5 is set up super weird.
It's a bit weird, yeah.
It's like I shouldn't have to push this button to get to this, and this is all, and you can take some things off, and then I'm like, where did it go? How do we get it back? Where's the thing? Did I take away the thing that gave me the access to get the thing to turn it off? Yeah, let me look on YouTube.
Yeah. Blair Farrell pipes in and says, but it's the fastest selling PS system, so people have them. It is the fastest selling PlayStation system, and lots of people do have them. But I think a lot of the systems are in the channel. A lot of scalpers have got them. A lot of kind of gray market resellers have got them. Yeah. I don't know if it's enough units in that space to kind of really dent the actual install base out there. It's going to be fascinating to see what the numbers on Returnal are going to be, though, because that's a game that it's an incredible game, and I think anybody that has really, spent the time with it appreciates it for that. But it's also kind of a hard sell because of its difficulty. But it's a unique.
It wasn't that hard.
I know you beat it. You're awesome at games, but it's a unique title for this machine, so it's going to be interesting to see, how all of these factors play into how well it does. I hope it's a huge success, and I hope it's the start of a franchise, quite frankly. But
I mean, it's third-person space exploration spelunky.
There it is. Yeah, it's an amazing game.
Except for I put 25 hours into it, and then there was some bug that deleted everyone's game save, so I had to start all over. Right when I was at the end. I was at the end. I got to the final boss and it killed me, and I was like, I'll do it tomorrow.
I commented on your tweet in the rundown, actually. Yeah. I saw that.
Thanks.
Thanks, okay. So we are going to get more PlayStation 5s in the channel, and we're going to get a revamped PlayStation 5, but we could probably predict that because these console manufacturers are constantly tuning and tweaking, and now they're dealing with supply issues. But obviously, another thing that's in the news right now is a new Nintendo Switch, and Bloomberg has been reporting on this like crazy. They have an incredible team over there that is relentless, and they go and speak to all kinds of different...
Bloomberg and Mexican Amazon!
Yeah, but they talk to all kinds of people around Nintendo, maybe not at Nintendo, but all kinds of information has leaked out there. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. The expectation is that it's going to be on... store shelves in September or October. But how does Nintendo get around the chip shortages and the manufacturing issues and what will unquestionably be, and you guys can let us know in the chat, who's getting one of these new Nintendos, presumably if it's kind of spec'd out to what we think it is, with DLSS technology and 4K output when it's docked, enhanced resolutions, better frame rates. Who's getting one of those things? I want to know if you guys are psyched to hit that pre-order button. But how does Nintendo do this? How do they subvert all of these obstacles that the whole world is facing? Not just PlayStation, not idea. Xbox.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
I want it to be just the face. Like for this, like I can take my Joy-Cons, snap it onto this new thing, and be like, oh.
Right.
This is cool. I don't have to Because man, there's a lot of people out there who have like, I got to collect all these Joy-Cons like they're Pokemon. I got every color possible.
Yeah.
So that's an investment.
Or the the established Switch dock and stuff like that. But you've been playing the Switch since the very beginning, as have I, as have many people on the stream today. It's starting to feel a little creaky, not necessarily with the Nintendo first-party content. They always know how to get the most out of their software.
And they should.
And they should. Nintendo. Yeah, they make it. But it does feel like a lot of developers are trying to shoehorn things that are maybe a little bit too... I'm playing the new Defense Force right now, the World Brothers game and it's pretty cool, but it's so blurry on the Nintendo Switch. I couldn't believe it. It looks like there's like Vaseline on the screen to kind of create this illusion of depth, and it's so clunky.
It's because I wiped my forehead on your screen. Like, sorry, Vic, here's your Switch back. There you go.
So a new machine that's going to run its a stable 60 frames per second, even at 1080p. I think that would be great. The Ren is getting a new Switch. Ramses is in. Ramses doesn't have the original Switch yet, which is interesting. My Switch Lite needs an update. Brett, the illustrator. I've been saying this. I think that even with this new Switch...
What if they called it Switch Heavy?
No, they're going to
Switch Lite, Switch Heavy.
But I did put a poll up just before we started today.
Super Switch.
It won. You saw.
Super Switch.
Super Switch. Is that what you
like? I put my vote in.
Did you vote? Yeah.
Yeah. Super Switch.
I mean, it's 53%. I'm very happy about that. That's my vote. I think it
will not be called that. It's going to be called the new Nintendo Switch Pro, which is if they call it that, because that's what it was called on the Amazon link that went out that they shut down.
That's so stupid.
It's so dumb because it makes it seem like there's an old Nintendo Switch Pro.
They can't call it that. I'm sure
they could call it the new Nintendo Switch, and then that would.
That's boring. 9% of the people that answered the poll voted for
like
that.
New Nintendo 3DS. It's the new one.
Switch Pro, we've got a quarter of the votes still for Switch Pro, but I don't want it to be called a Pro. What does a Pro machine mean? I guess there are Pro players out there. Yeah. Switch Advance, I actually am taking a shine to.
Switchman Advanced.
The Switchman Advanced. I like Switch Advanced, but I think Super Switch
Nintendo
should be the
Switch
way.
SP.
Super Switch SP? Oh,
you could do that.
Switch Advance SP.
Yeah.
Super Switch Advance SP.
You're just gonna go down this rabbit hole,
and then we'll add Street Fighter Megamix on the end of it, and I'm just like, what? Guitar Zan says Super Switch. Peter Kokazar says Super Switch. Pro is the PlayStation's bag, right? Switch 4K is okay. Orion's Angel says that, and Ramsey says Switch 64. There's a lot of alliteration in today's Switch talk. Let's see. The updated Switch won't have as many bespoke, unique parts like the Xbox Series and PlayStation 5 have. Excellent point, Mark Ferrer. That is, they are going to be using a lot of off-the-shelf technology. That's Nintendo's, I think, modus operandi. They like to kind of stay with technology that's within arm's reach, that maybe isn't the cutting edge, because they see that as a sort of diminishing returns if they do too much of that, although they did do that with the Joy-Con. But I think your point on being able to take your established Joy-Con controllers to a new Switch is very astute. I think they should absolutely
it's not just syncing. I don't want to sync them. I want them to snap on or have some sort of adapter to where I can snap them on. Because I'm not just going to carry Joy-Cons around in case I happen to play some multiplayer on a screen this big, which is always the best when they have people outside playing Mario Kart on the Switch with two. You can't see the screen. You can't.
It's just cool that it can do it.
Yeah,
it would be cool if the Switch, a future iteration of this, had some kind of like high def projector built into it, and then you could
just buy one.
Or you'd pack one around. I guess that would be. Yeah, I just think it would be cool, but stupid expensive. I have a fantastic and important message to relay to you from Danny Sullivan, Edmonton 12345 says, "Love you, Foobs."
Hey, Danny Sullivan,
nice.
12345.
There it is. I love it. Randy says, "You are awesome, Jose. You are awesome." And we got a vote for a Hyper Switch from Peter Kokasar. That sounds.
Isn't that a game?
I think it is.
Like it's a recent game that came
like
out.
from Way Forward Technologies or something like that. Yeah, I think it is.
Copywritten.
I think Super Switch has a pretty good chance of becoming the name for it.
How about Switcheroo?
No.
Nintendo Switcheroo?
I mean, they did.
Then you can
name
make
something
underoos come.
the Wii U, so maybe
Switcheroo.
that's possible.
Switcheroo, but they call it switcheroo.
So let me ask you this: do you think the Super Game Boy Switch from Kevin S? Do you think these reports from Bloomberg are accurate? Because Walmart Canada, the famous leaking source of Walmart Canada, cheekily tweeted yesterday, the gaming division, are we going to find out tomorrow? Is tomorrow the big day when this gets announced? And I'm dreading.
Well, it's a 4-day holiday in Japan, so we're not going to find out anytime in the next 4 days.
Oh, you've already looked that up. In the next few days,
but
maybe next week.
Maybe next Wednesday.
Maybe Wednesday. Well, here's the thing, and I think this is a very apt observation. They're not going to wait too long because they're going to have partners. They're going to have games made for this new machine, and they're going to want to show them off in the next month, through Summer Game Fest and E3. So it's time for them, closing in on time for them to release some information about this new thing.
See, that's the thing with Nintendo, though. They could just announce a new Metroid game for the current Switch. People would be content. People would be just announce a couple games.
It's selling like crazy. They don't need to do this at all, and I know that that's part of their decision making here. They don't have to do anything.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's like the Switch Pro, Super Switch, and Super Engage, whatever it's going to be called. They can call it whatever they want, but it's not for sure going to be coming.
Here is what's going to happen, though. If they announce this, they're going to double dip with most Switch owners. Most Switch players are going to get another Switch, and I think
how many people have the Switch and got the Lite?
Exactly. And what might happen is there might be this mass sell-off of the original Switch, but I think that Switch Lite is a very sweet little piece of tech that is going to continue to be very popular, especially if the new Switch is so expensive, because we're talking $400. We're talking into the price range
because of the library that it has already. And it's like how the Game Boy was when, or the Game Boy Advance was out when the GameCube is out. Or people are like, I can take games on the go. I can have games at home.
Yeah.
People are like, well, I can get a Switch Lite. I can get this super duper Switch. And I can just take one with me. And if I want to take the 4K one, if they play the same games.
Yeah.
Like if I can't play the current generation of Switch games on the new one.
Oh, of course they're going to do that. Of course they're going to do that. And
Vic, because I can't play my Wii U games my Wii games on my Switch.
Wii U was backwards compatible to the Wii. The Wii was backwards compatible to the GameCube.
Yeah.
The GameCube had the player that you could stick in the GBA
but
stuff.
Super Nintendo wasn't backwards compatible with Nintendo.
No, they didn't. But they've got a fairly... The DS was backwards compatible with the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. They've got.
And they changed the size of the disc again.
The 3DS could play DS games. They've done a pretty good job at keeping your library along with you. I'm sure they're going to do something with it.
Like, why isn't
Danny Sullivan says Soulja Boy Switch. That is going to happen.
Come on, Danny Sullivan, Edmonton 1 2 3 4 5.
But that is not going to happen from Nintendo.
Yeah,
that will happen from Soulja Boy
on the Soulja site. But even for the Switch, like, why isn't there a Game Boy Advance slot?
I agree.
I mean, it's super simple. Or 3DS.
I know. I agree. I think that there should be some way to... I've been saying this a ton. There should be some way to honor our classic libraries. A lot of us longtime Nintendo holdouts should have something... I mean, when they did the Switch Mini, or the SNES Mini and the NES Mini, it was like, well, why don't you just make them a little bigger and let us put our cartridges in and also stack in some of that stuff. Yeah. Right?
That's what I want. That's like, why do you have me sign up for a Nintendo account if you're not keeping track of the games I'm buying? Don't make me buy them again. You can go through the library. Let me date back to my you bought this in 1987. Here it is, uploaded to your Switch. Thank you for your continued support.
That's the Xbox model. I think we're slowly evolving to that, but we're not there yet. And this whole backwards compatibility dilemma, I think, will eventually get solved. But my question to you is this thing coming out in September or October this year?
Probably.
As Bloomberg says.
If Bloomberg is reporting on it.
Yeah.
And not Schroomberg from down the street. There's a very... it depends, though. Something like Japan just got shut down with the COVID shutdown again.
Schroomberg would be an awesome Nintendo news channel. The Schroomberg.
With mushrooms. But like, no, like again, with the big, like Japan just shut down travel from anywhere again because they had a huge outbreak in COVID. It might have been coming out,
Right.
but was something happen from now until then that's going to stop it? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'd love for it to come out. It'd be great.
What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. I'll read a bunch more comments. If you guys want to help me out with putting all caps, it's a little bit easier to read them as they stream along. But, that is just one of the interesting questions that's arisen in the last couple of weeks. Well, the rumors of Switch Pro have been around for years now, but it feels like it's imminent. Something else that came up, and this is from our friend at Sam Miskovich from Ars Technica, who we had on just like days before he revealed this exclusive info that he picked up. And it was based on hackers sort of going into source code and determining that Steam is working apparently on a Switch-like PC device. What do you think of the SteamPal, pal?
Yeah, I'm okay. Again, I can take my Steam games on the go.
Yeah.
What? Because you know damn well it's going to have some super high fidelity graphical capabilities towards it. And I'm all about that. That sounds fantastical.
I mean, all of the work that's going into what, we will see in the Super Switch, conceivably, there are electronics companies that are like sharing some of the information and some of the data, because if they've got a chip that can run, DLSS 4K output,
it's just going to be size of like the 3090. It's going to be that big, just a huge honking machine, and it's just a graphic card. They're going to throw some buttons on it, and you'll be like, here you go.
Well,
just a big ass fan you have to carry as a backpack.
I mean, that's what we're talking about here. It's just the shrinking of all of this incredibly powerful technology, and Valve is, tapped into that space. They firmly believe in some hardware, like the VR stuff that they've been putting out there, and the Steam Link and their own Steam controller. Yeah. It would be very interesting to see this as a competitor. Do you think this is real? Do you think they're actually going to do it, or is this more vaporware?
I fully believe they have the capability to do so.
Yeah.
And I don't see why they wouldn't if the opportunity presented itself and they were just like, we can do this. Like, we can make this a thing that will crush.
It has to be dockable, though, right? I think that's the secret sauce.
Does it, though? Because if you have a Steam account with a lot of games, you pretty much have a PC that you play your games on.
Yeah, but if you're kind of creating that illusion of connecting it directly to your television set, and I know you can do that with your PC. I do that all the time. But if you're kind of consoleizing your Steam library, you should also take the extra incremental steps, just like the Switch has, and make it incredibly seamless to connect it to your television and have a controller-based sit-back-on-the-couch type of experience. I mean, it
just
has
like
to
the
be
Steam Connect stuff.
It has to be, it has to be a direct competitor to the Switch. It has to meet and exceed what the Switch Pro, or whatever it's called, Super Switch, is delivering, because of the expectation on that Valve brand and that Steam brand and the high-end kind of output that we expect out of PC, right?
Yeah. I mean, and Steam can do it.
Yes.
Steam with people who have, but there's so much stuff on Steam. Like, to get it right, it's got to be a powerhouse. It's not going to be cheap. And if it is, then they're going to have to eliminate some of those things you were talking about, like the dockability. I feel like the docking thing would be nice, granted, but if you could imagine it,
it would be an extra thing that you would pay for, right?
They could just be like, you can buy an additional dock if you want to.
Great comments here from Matthew Winstone. Says Steam Link software would take care of that, so you could just have the thing streamed to your TV, and they're probably going to have, smart TVs are going to have Steam Link
Steam app,
built right in. And Barcode Teacup says, do PC players actually care about mobile? It seems like they would just buy a laptop for that. I think they do, and they would normally buy a laptop. I think what SteamPal is kind of hinting around in is kind of creating the category in a way. And there have been some mobile PCs. Marco A, I don't know if he's on the chat today, has been a big fan of the GPD mini PCs in the past that are and I know Alienware has been working on a prototype for something like that as well. Yeah. But I think if Steam comes into this market, they're going to try to shake it up in much the same way that Nintendo did with the Nintendo Switch. And I think the Switch, tell me Switch fans out there that also own PlayStations or Xboxes haven't wondered why Sony or Microsoft haven't done something similar. I mean, there's such a genius, smart connection to being able to take the existing software that we're playing on our television and just carry it around anywhere. It's an amazing thing. It made more sense when we could travel, pre-2020.
The days.
But, yeah. Wow. But, the Switch was just like, wow, yeah, this all makes sense. We didn't know that it would, but it really did. And now that it has, I think the SteamPal is kind of, it makes sense. But I don't know what they're going to price it.
Whatever. You know, just what are you guys doing in quarantine? We're putting out all kinds of new handheld things. All right, add it to the growing list of consoles I have over there.
Well, what's interesting? Like I'm always surfing around for different video pieces on YouTube, and there is this huge collection of retro Chinese knockoff retro handhelds that come sometimes packed with thousands of games.
Yeah, Soldier
Boy.
Boy.
They're really well made. There's some really good ones out there, So
I feel like because they're so easy to make.
Yeah.
Like you look at things like Raspberry Pis and how small and condensed those things are. People are like, oh, you can just add a screen to it, and now we have the super duper Game Boy. You want a super Game Boy? You can have one. It'll have all the Game Boy games on it, and just like, okay, cool. And it's like $100 or something.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's great.
Orion's Angel says, remember the sun? Remember getting outside?
What is that? It's my favorite planet.
So
always has been.
Sam suggests that we, nothing's confirmed, but there's a possibility that we might see it this year. I don't know if we'll physically be able to buy one of these things. Do you think, again, in this time of constriction and materials challenge, is that even possible?
The thing I'm disappointed in is we spent a good 10 minutes talking about the name of the new Switch, but SteamPal, can we talk about it? Oh, the Steam buddy. Steam chum.
I don't mind SteamPal. It's got that sort of friendly accessibility of that Game Boy has.
Willie.
Steampunk Willie, yeah. Oh, I don't mind SteamPal. Do you guys hate SteamPal? I think it's okay. It sounds cute.
It is. And you're talking about people who want to take their PC Steam libraries on the go.
Yeah.
I'll be there in a sec. I got to grab my SteamPal.
Well, Sam I Am suggests Steam Boy with a question mark, but I think that's what they were trying to go for, but they didn't want to go all that way because they didn't want to, right? They didn't want to have that full association, but they want that
Steam
sort of
girl.
connection. SteamPal better work in the sauna, Steve Venegas says. Right, that's like false marketing right there, right? If SteamPal doesn't work in the sauna. All right,
I took it in the hot tub. It exploded.
Let's move on to another topic that you and I are both very familiar with this week. I saw that you were streaming Biomutant. This has come out, and it's first of all, what do you think of this game?
It's okay. The people that I've put about 13 hours into it.
Yep.
It's okay. The thing that sucked for me especially was having played it, and then I went and saw that Horizon Forbidden West thing, and I was like, wait a minute, this game could look like that? What are you doing, THQ? You're killing me. I just feel like it's a game. It's a fun game to play. It's not great by any stretch of the means. The people that have been coming in, trickling into my streams, I've been asking 7.
Yeah.
About a 7.
Yeah.
It's something new to play, which I feel like it feels like a video game. It's not trying to be open, crazy, like realistic worlds and whatever. Yeah. It's like an old fashioned, like old school video game. Maybe you want a new Sly Cooper. I'm like, look, my little Phoebus raccoonus looking guy.
A little bit, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely evocative of Ratchet and Clank and that whole thing as well. And the Oddworld games. What's your favorite thing about it?
It was the narrator for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
And then I was like, okay, I took about like 8 hours into the game where he was like, if the narration is getting too irritating, go ahead and turn it down in the options. And I was like, that's a thing? You tell me that now? That's not in the tutorial hour of the game? Son of a bee. Come on, man.
When I talked about it, and I streamed some for the EP crowd here too, I kind of thought of it as a AA game. I thought of it as something that was on the PlayStation 3 or the 360 from THQ, because let's face it,
Yeah.
THQ, in their old iteration, they made tons of games like this. Sometimes they were licensed and they were still kind of fun, and sometimes they were original ideas and they were still kind of fun. But yeah, it didn't blow the doors off. I think it's getting a fairly accurate scores, though. I'm not pissed at people saying that it's there's 6 out of 10. I'm sure people have gone lower than that, but the thing about those scores, that those aren't bad score. I would probably give it about a 7 at this point.
Oh, come on, Vic. How many years have you been reviewing games?
Yeah.
You're like, this game is pretty solid for a 7.5. 7.5? You're trashing this game? Like,
yes. Okay, I'm going to loop myself into this, but we tend to, as a collective of consumers of this medium, to look down at a 6 or a 7 and think that that's just a terrible.
When a 5 is average.
But the 5 is average, right? I think we have to remind ourselves of that collectively, though, because we are disappointed when we see a score of a 6. We're so trained to be in the hype zone about the 8s and the 9s and the 10s,
You know what it is? I think it's like school grading. Like A is like the 90%, B is 80, C is 70, 60 is a D. And then if you get a 50%, that's an F. You can't fail any worse than a 50%. Come on now. What? How does that work mathematically in the grading system?
Yeah, that's not right.
You need to simmer that back down. I would have got straight A's in school if it wasn't such a high bar.
I do think the game is more of a 7 than a 6, though. I definitely do think that. I think that there's enough.
Now that we just talked about the grading scale, I would say 6, 5, 7. That's where
6, 5, or 7? Okay.
Because I'm at least having a good time. The missions are kind of fun, building the armor and doing all the creative stuff.
That's the thing that I like about the game is that
it's my first game that I've been streaming in a hot tub.
There you go.
I'm a hot tub streamer now.
Did you honestly? You took the plunge?
I did. I have a little PNG hot tub that I sit in when I'm streaming. I'm the hottest hot tub streaming guy on the old Twitcheroo.
Oh, you rock, man. Blair Farrell says, I have a bunch of great 7 score superhero games behind me. Wolverine is a great 7. Brett, the illustrator, only buys 10s. So Brett does not
buying a lot of games lately.
Huge library of games. Does not have a huge library. Michael Huber,
unless he has a GameCube in the Victor Lucas era.
Pardon me?
I said, unless he has a GameCube in the Victor Lucas era of reviewing.
Ah, right. It was great to see you, Jose. We'll see you next time. I loved a lot of GameCube games. What can I say? I played Fast and Furious, where I took down a rogue rocket with cars. Totally worth it, Blair Farrell says. And Brett the Illustrator loves the GameCube, so I've some backup right there. I've been known to enjoy a video game or two in my life. Let's see. Biomutant sounds fun to me, Sam I am 111. You know what? I have been digging it, and I've now moved on to other things that I have to talk about soon, and I'm playing right now. And I'm still thinking about my time.
I want to I'm going to finish it.
Yeah.
I finished 2 of the bosses. There's 2 more to go.
Yep.
I was like, all right.
Well, but I feel like there's most of the games are designed so that there's another thing beyond that. Once you achieve it all, there's
for Biomutant. Spoiler alert: the main bad guy, who I thought was like the super bad guy, you fight him right after you fight the second boss, and then you beat him, and then it's like there's still more to do.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, that's not like a super secret ending or anything.
Did you get your robot horse?
No, I haven't got a robot horse. So I have like 5 or 6 other mounts.
Robot horse is pretty cool, and it is interesting that there's echoes of the Horizon franchise. But the thing about this game, about Biomutant compared to Horizon's probably got 12 times as many people making that game. There was 20 people made Biomutant. Yeah, which is insane.
And they did okay.
They did okay. Yeah, they did okay. Devin Fava says, now we need a supercut of GameCube reviews from Vic. Okay, we'll get on that. Brett the Illustrator says
10 out of 10.
Was it that many 10 out of 10s? Well,
I don't know.
Super Mario Sunshine would have been up there.
Burnout on the GameCube.
Well, Burnout's a 10. Well, Burnout 3. All right, now we got to go back through my archive. One day we will get all of those out there, and you guys can make fun of me of my high scores and some of the games.
What was your Smash Brothers GameCube score, Vic?
Not great. Yeah, I was not a fan back then. Any game Vic gives a review of 5 or lower makes me want to play that game more. Corey Nolan. That's what I'm glad to be of service, my friend. Okay, so we both say to viewers out there, players out there, that Biomutant is worth checking out. But
yeah, I mean, if you can find it on like Game Pass, or if
I'm sure it'll come to Game Pass.
It's worth checking out, or just watch somebody stream it. All the people
Yeah.
that come in and talk trash in my stream, I'm glad you're playing it, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. I'm having an okay time playing the game. You go cry in the corner real quick.
Well, something else I know you've been streaming and talking about a lot is Mass Effect Legendary Edition. What's it been like for you to go back into this franchise?
See, for me, I went back and I played through Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 right before Andromeda came out.
Right.
So I did a
So
week
it wasn't
stream
10
of
years
just all
ago.
of them. Yeah,
Right,
it wasn't as
yeah.
long ago. It was fun to go back and play 1 again. I'd started 2, and then Biomutant came out, and so I jumped into Biomutant so I can finish that out before I go back in and finish Mass Effect 2 and 3. But I feel like 1 got better.
Yeah.
So I really liked 2, and then I was playing 1 again, and on the Legendary dude, I'm like, damn, it does look amazing. It looks so good. And then I remembered that you have to reload your like clips in Mass Effect 2, and I was like, why did they take that out? Mass
Yeah.
Effect 1, you just had to wait a second and it would like recharge.
I know.
I hate reloading. Mass Effect 1 might be my new favorite.
Well, and the other thing that I loved about Mass Effect 1 too is that you collect everything the minute you kill everybody. So you don't have to walk over, you don't have to like that is a really big pain in the ass for me when there's a dead body and you need their stuff, but you still have to go and decide. You have to tell the game.
Rummage through their pockets.
Yeah,
like
I
villain.
want your stuff. Just give me your stuff. I killed you. I want it.
Where are
Just
my
give it to me.
renegade points for this?
Yeah.
I'm stealing this dead guy's stuff. Paragon point? Really? I got 2? Okay.
Steven Venegas asks, is Mass Effect the best Star Trek game? The thing that I talked about with Mac Walters and with Mark and Jennifer about the game is that it feels like an adventure that you caught up with halfway through. Like it already, you start the game running. You start the franchise running.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do. It's really hard to it's with,
You want a
with the
prequel.
world building.
You
right?
need a prequel is what you need.
You can't. Yeah, they do need a prequel. Yeah, very, very good. Yeah, I think Mark and Jennifer would be all over that. But it's an incredibly difficult thing to achieve. But because the world feels so real, it feels like it's just enveloping you. You're completely lost in it. It's an incredible experience, and I think Battlestar did that. I think Star Trek did that, and Star Wars absolutely did that. You know, they set out to build something like a space opera, and they nailed it. And
That's true. And
go ahead.
I was going to say, like, a lot of people like Mass Effect 2 as their favorite of the 3.
Yeah.
And for me, even when I played because I played through Andromeda twice, and I was like, it was a good start, but I was definitely looking forward to seeing where it went after.
Yeah.
You know, like it was an okay introduction to these characters. I'm familiar with the way Mass Effect, especially because I played it after playing the first 3. So I was like, all right, I'm pretty good at this. And then it just got dunked on, and it was just like, well, give it a chance to breathe, like feel it out. And now people are just like, no, we don't have time. We don't have time to let it breathe anymore. If it sucks at the first iteration, it's done. So now
it's funny that
the new Mass Effect.
Peter Kokosar is bringing up the Normandy, the ship from Mass Effect that's unlockable in No Man's Sky, which is amazing. But we gave No Man's Sky, the time, but we also gave the devs the time to keep iterating and improving and tweaking. But I don't
good
know
on them for continuing to do so.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
like
good on them for yes. But I don't think we did that we didn't have that same level of patience for BioWare and Andromeda, and I didn't even go back to it because, you know, my gig is like, okay, what's next? What's now?
Yeah.
I've got to jump onto this thing. I don't really have a lot of time to go back and check some stuff out. But the word is that Andromeda got way better. And now that I'm deep into Mass Effect Legendary Edition, I really want to go and see Andromeda, but I think what they're doing with Andromeda, it was supposed to be the beginning of new things, and I think it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
It's over. They're not going to go back into that brand. They're not going to bring up that name ever again. Do you regret that? Do you feel like they should have?
It's
stuck
just
with it?
having, played through the original Mass Effect trilogy when it came out, when the Andromeda came out, playing through all again. Now I get to do it all again in Legendary Edition. It's definitely a franchise I don't mind putting the time into.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see where the second version, because especially the way Mass Effect 2 starts, you're just like, wait, what happened? He did? The ship gone? Everybody gone?
Yeah.
What? This is the beginning of the game? Like, what could they have done with Andromeda 2 that would have been like, oh, snap, I didn't see it going in this direction, to where they change things up a bit, but we'll never know.
Well, what's cool about it, though, is that there's enough love for Mass Effect that, everybody is going to deal with the fact that Andromeda was a disappointment and get excited for whatever BioWare concocts, even with all of the internal changes and challenges that they faced and the speculation around how they fit in with EA's kind of corporate regime, all of that. They're still going to create a tremendous amount of goodwill and hype and expectation for whatever they're going to come back with Mass Effect. And I got to say, it's the highest rated game of the year right now, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, for good reason, in terms of a value for your money. And
it's the Mass Effect orange box.
Kind of, right?
Here are 3 incredible games that we went and remastered. Like, give me a remastered Knights of the Old Republic.
Right. Well, that's
what I want.
They haven't announced that yet, but that's coming. But
that's what I want.
It is amazing to dive into that universe in a time like this, to escape into this just fever dream of creativity, which they did with Mass Effect. I mean, you're looking at it, and the thing that I brought up with, and we talked about in the interviews that I did with the folks that worked on it, is that this was all achieved in one console generation. They did all of that work. They made like 12 movies in like 8 years. It feels like, like all of these different threads and characters and worlds and, love stories and relationships and
story
endings.
Arcs, and just to keep track of everything
what?
into the next games.
Yeah,
it's a thing that it's a lost art, man. It's like, oh, what happened to this guy? Oh, I killed him in the first one. Yeah. No wonder he wasn't in the second one. I got him nuked. Damn.
Yes. I was reminded, Blair Farrell says, I was reminded of the 2013 Gears of Star Trek movie game. One of the few games I tried to return, Blair Farrell. That's hilarious. Okay, we got, this is a good one from Brett the Illustrator. I think if BioWare went back to fix Andromeda, maybe they gave them time on Anthem, and look what happened. They just canned it. Yeah.
The track record is going downhill. They're like, guys,
for sure.
They're like, we did Andromeda. It wasn't so loved. We did Anthem. Not so much loved. What do we do now? How about we redo Mass Effect? Okay. We hit a success.
Great success. Yes. Well, something else hit the internet today with a bang. It is the new reveal for Far Cry 6. We got to look at some of the gameplay, some of the action in this game. What do you think of what you have seen so far of Far Cry 6?
First of all, can we just talk about, I was on Twitch ready for this reveal, and there's like an hour countdown.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, hour gets done. There's like a 3-minute countdown. You're like, all right, okay. Then they start with this thing that has a countdown on it, and it's just like 10 minutes of a trailer. It's like, oh, this place looks good. And then it's 10 minutes again, same trailer, a little darker. And then it's the last 10 minutes is the same 10 minutes from before, but the darkest it can be. And I was like, I thought this was gameplay reveal. You showed me 30 minutes of a 10-minute trailer 3 times in very different aspects. But then they actually showed some stuff, and I was like, all right, it looks like Far Cry. I'm in.
It kind of looks like Far Cry 1.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's going back to the kind of the tropical setting.
Those dark tropical jungles.
I love it.
It's going to shatter CPUs.
It is a gorgeous looking game for sure. It's getting quite a bit of, clapback today because, Ubisoft has done what they do often with their games. They have a game that's kind of politically charged. It's about guerrilla warfare.
At least you're not like
on
a vacation with your friends and then somebody goes missing and you got to save them. And how are you going to do it? Nope, you're a guerrilla.
Yeah.
You're going in and taking care of business.
We have seen in Far Cry games in the past. We've seen these, sort of militant groups and militia groups and the good guys against the bad guys, and you
Yeah.
kind of you navigate through that narrative. But this is like very much you're diving into the world of the guerrilla warrior. And of course, they're coming out and saying we don't want to be political with the statements. And so there's a lot of people that are up in arms with the idea that you know if you're constantly making these games that overtly borrow from politically charged messaging, but you don't make any political statements about it. What are you doing?
It's like we don't want to be political, but the object of the game is to kill el presidente.
Is to take down and be a
politically
rebellious
driven.
force, and I think that there's a tremendous amount of fictional examples, and you can even look at Star Wars and some of the ways that Lucas was being subversive with the messaging and the storytelling in that. But this is so embedded in reality, right? Like, and there's such an effort to kind of create what we know and what we see, and it's beautiful work. I mean, the game looks absolutely stunning, and I don't think we necessarily need to have a message from the game, but I think that there's some validity to this notion that because Ubi's done this again and again. They had Watch Dogs Legion not too long ago talking about an oppressive totalitarian military force observing and watching all of its citizens in a sort of dystopian future London, and it was cool. And I don't know how you do that and keep painting these beautiful works and sort of not come through with I don't know, some kind of a comment or some kind of a statement that maybe we don't want to get to this point,
Yeah, I mean, it really just depends on what side you fall on. Like, does that bother you?
Yeah.
Or do you even really care? Like, I just want to get in and shoot some stuff, maybe skin a bear.
Well, that's what they want to sell us, is that experience. And I think Far Cry has had no challenge on being fun. I think that has been, that's been true to form.
I don't know. They can throw in some dream sequences. You'd be like, oh.
Yeah, but they've delivered really engaging games that have all kinds of great tangents and lots of activities, maps that are filled with all kinds of things to do. I think they have that, but I think what is going to now elevate, the artistry of what they're putting together in their stories, and it's nice to see that there's an emphasis on cut sequences and getting to know this Danny Rojas character, when you can be male or female, a little bit more than the sort of from the first-person viewpoint that we've seen in previous Far Cry games. But I think there can be, some kind of an artistic elevation, even if it's satire, like Grand Theft Auto does.
Which Grand Theft Auto? Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 5 Next Gen, Grand Theft Auto 5 Last. Which one of those?
I don't know, man. Like, I feel they're kind of pulling their punches a little bit creatively by not sort of going the next level with all of this stuff. But I have always enjoyed these Far Cry games. I do like their games, but they do feel a little toothless if they don't have some kind of statement. I know it's better for the shareholders. I know it's better for keeping everybody placated and happy, or the mass placated and happy with what you're selling. But sometimes, I mean, you look at Metal Gear Solid, right? Like, those are crazy, fantastical creations that pull some ideas from what is going on in reality. There's commentary on child soldiers. There's commentary on automated militia and the dangers of having AI control weaponry and things like that. Yeah. Whereas in a Ghost Recon game from Ubisoft, it's like, isn't that cool? You've got all these drones. You can just go and kill everything. Isn't that cool? It's so cool.
I don't know. Any game that's going to take me to a beautiful tropical island, I'm ready for a vacation.
Yes.
So I'm ready to go.
Yeah. I mean,
I just want to go. I just want a mission where I just lounge on a beach, gunfire all around me, and just like, I don't care.
And I think it was Far Cry 5 that was probably kind of hitting close to the bone, especially because we've seen so much, divisiveness in the United States and armed militia type people going into government buildings and things like that. And Far Cry 5 was like pretty close to the bone with a lot of those ideas, preppers but they were really adamant that there was no huge, and then cults. There were sort of prescient with a lot of the things that we're facing in the world right now. But they didn't want to say it's a political game, And this one,
it's a Serious Sam sequel.
Yeah, this one I feel, there's a little bit of a remove because of, the Cuba. It isn't Cuba. It's called Yara. And Giancarlo Esposito is famously the bad guy. He's going to be so good. I can't wait.
I hope you become like I hope that's the option. Like you can either take over or you can take him down.
That's Tropico.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Sam I Am 111 says, you don't want Spec Ops The Line reprimanding you for playing through the game.
Dude,
you don't want that.
Spec Ops The Line, though, fantastic game. Why? There was a FUBAR edition.
There was a FUBAR edition.
Sure was.
Yeah.
Great game.
I don't know, man. Like I feel like it's I don't want the game to be preachy, but I don't mind if there is food for thought afterwards, especially when it's so charged. Like Far Cry 5 was so charged, but it was zany, It was just like, you can't turn that kind of fear that exists in reality into just like goofy good time, And that's kind of what the game did a little bit, And Far Cry 6, I don't want it to do that, but I don't mind if there is some heavy food for thought. I think The Last of Us Part 2 did a pretty good job.
You want to play as Rayman. That's what you want. Rayman is on an island on a vacation.
Well, that's goofy good
Ray
time.
Cry.
That's there would be no political expectation from something like that. But even Ghost of Tsushima, talking about the Mongol invasion and the Samurai Code. There was some really poignant and powerful statement about honor and all of that stuff in that game.
There's naked man meat chilling in the onsen.
Or you got your own things out of there. You got.
We got two very different experiences from Ghost of Tsushima.
But you know what? I'm saying all this, and it's only because I've seen the fervor that's sort of bubbled up around the release of this information today. I still am dying to play Far Cry 6. Like, I had a great time playing Far Cry 5. It was goofy good times. And I would like more goofy good times in the tropical setting of Yara.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
To bring those goofy good times.
Does it look, sort of PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X enough for you?
I mean, again, did you remember that Horizon?
Yeah.
When she's like swimming underwater and you're like, this is San Francisco? Yeah. Where? I lived in San Francisco when I was a child. I don't remember it looking anything like this.
Yes.
That game looks fantastic. This game looks great. I feel like it doesn't look that much more impressive compared to the last one.
You can see the ray tracing and reflections and stuff,
which is all fine and dandy. Sure, but I need to play it before I can be like, oh, crap, no, this looks fantastic.
And it should run beautifully, too. Got some skepticism from Harry Balzac, says, more camps to liberate with the same boring clearance missions. Brett the Illustrator says, the characters look outdated, but the world looks really good. They've got
especially watching that first trailer 3 different times in terrible settings, and then it gets to like your character's ID badge.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, why do the characters look so good in the video? And then you can do like, this is my character face.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good as Horizon, right? Horizon was insanity.
Yeah, they should have played Far Cry yesterday, the Horizon Forbidden West today. And then I would have been like, wow, these games are just looking so much better each day.
We got a vote for Game of the Year already for this from C. Smith, coming out there with a strong idea for this game. Far Cry 2 was great. Far Cry 2 was great. That was an incredibly ambitious game. Wasn't this the issue that soldiers had with the original Medal of Honor, that the game might be reducing the horrors of war with an amusement park ride? That's from Sam I Am 111. Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge of games in general, right? You kind of turn... like the beach invasion in Normandy into entertainment, and it's
like Saving Private Ryan, though.
Yeah.
You're like, look at how amazing this movie is, but it's like it's terrible, but look how beautiful it looks.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it beautiful? These people are dying on the beach.
That visceral kind of sensation when I saw that in the theater, and I was repulsed. I saw it with.
I know. I saw Rambo with you in the theater. We had to
Oh yeah.
We had a moment.
Yeah.
You were just tears.
Yeah. That was insane. That was like going to the butcher shop. That was insanity. But yeah, but I think games have the potential and the propensity to, really put us into that moment and convey the narrative in a very powerful way. I think we've seen that. I think The Last of Us 2, I think, is one of the most powerful, creative works in games that has illustrated that. It's tough to live through moments of that game. But not every game is going to do that. Not everybody's got that as their business plan. I think it's, part of the discussion about The Last of Us 2 and the accolades that it won last year was that Sony was kind of nuts to let Naughty Dog do what they did with that game in several ways, But that ambition is a good thing, Even if the work is divisive, even if the final output of what gets made isn't for everybody. Yeah. That reach, I think, is worth it in video games, and I think that's also maybe part of the skepticism that we're seeing in the chat and online right now about Far Cry 6 too. It's like it's the 6th iteration. Shock us.
7th with Primal.
Yeah, right. With the ambition of it. All that being said, the game looks sweet. I want to play it for sure.
I'm definitely not gonna play it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well let's wrap up the show with some games that we are dying to play in 2021. What are you super hyped for?
Well, I mean, we didn't talk about it, but they had the Dying Light 2 presentation yesterday
amazing.
as well.
Yep.
Another game that looks fantastic. Having seen it, in 2019, I think, when they first showed the trailer for it.
Yeah.
It was like,
were we in the same press briefing? I think we might have been.
So.
Yeah.
Incredible. I was there. You might not have been. I was there live. It's the last time I was there live E3. That looks good. Again, with E3 coming in next month, I'm excited for the stuff I have no idea that's going to be coming out soon.
Yes.
There's a lot of Ratchet and Clank. I can't wait to play. Boot up the old PS5 OG.
Yeah.
Where they change it.
The OG. Yeah.
the old school PlayStation 5, this bad boy.
I wonder what's taller, the PlayStation 5 or that Daily Bugle Lego set that's out there right now.
I think it's pretty, though.
That is.
Is there a new Spider-Man coming? Can we get some new Spider-Man? What if they were just like, welcome to E3, by the way, new Miles Morales coming out right now?
I mean, that's what I want.
E3's over.
That's what I want.
Over.
Yeah.
You dropped that like the first day of
Sony's not going to E3. That's how
I know. But they can still do announcements. They just did a Horizon Forbidden West thing. They could be like, everybody's watching the videos of the announcements. By the way, Spider-Man, brand new Miles Morales edition is out right now. You can just go ahead and download it. It's free also if you have the last one. What? Game over. Yeah. It's game over. I'm done. I don't care about whatever's coming out.
I want Insomniac to be crafting a Spider-Verse game every year. It doesn't have to be Peter Parker Spider-Man. We can get Gwen Stacy Spider-Man. We can get that future robot girl, Spider Girl with the. I would love a game based on that in a future version of New York City. Oh God, that would be incredible.
Spider-Verse game where each chapter is those characters, and then they come together like a Spider Avengers at the end.
Yes, I like what you're saying. Yes,
see what I'm saying?
That. Yes,
Insomniac, are you watching?
That. Yes.
Who do I know at Sony? Let's talk. I got a PS5, guys. You can play it on that.
If they are working on that, that's an incredibly ambitious idea, and it would definitely be tied to the Spider-Verse 2 game, which comes out at the end of next year. Right? Or it would be revealed by the time that game comes
Hopefully.
out. All right. So in 2021, we have a pretty good idea that Halo is coming out. Is that something you're psyched for? Halo Infinite. Sure. Yeah. But you want to see more.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to, it's Halo. I'll be excited to jump in and play it.
Yeah.
Each Halo game that came out, I feel like I missed like the super deluxe, like the legendary Halo collection, Master Chief collection. Yeah. I played a little bit of that and I was like, okay, it's not like a Mass Effect where I want to jump in and play through every Halo game again.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for a new Halo.
Yeah.
Excited to see it because they've been taking their time. Delay it. That's fine. I don't mind delays anymore.
Me neither.
I've come to that point in my life where I'm like, if you're going to make it better, take your time, Cyberpunk. Just take your time. Release it when you want it to be released. and
Yes.
then I will be happy.
Yes, I'm right there with you. Okay. Do you think God of War Ragnarok is coming out this year?
No,
No, me neither. Do you think Horizon Forbidden West is coming out this year?
no. March.
They
March is
didn't
my
reveal
guess.
any kind of date, did they, at all?
No.
No.
I feel like that's
How did
again.
Insomniac get us Miles Morales and Ratchet and Clank months apart with a brand new machine? How did they do that?
They've been working hard.
God, it's
You know?
insanity.
I feel like with Miles is a little bit easier because you could just take what you did with Spider-Man and had the remastered Spider-Man, and they also did the remastered Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they're just obviously they're aces at their places, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is what we do. Here's how awesome it's going to be for you to enjoy, because they needed that for the PlayStation 5 launch, and they got it. And now it's like, well, are people going to still be fiending for the PlayStation 5s? Are they going to be still unable to get them at the end of the year? Because then are we going to have another crisis of like, they're still sold out and we're putting out games? And
I guess they have to think about that too, right? They they don't want to. I mean, if they want the biggest bang on people buying the software, because they need that for news too, right? That news perpetuates the sale of consoles, and it's the cycle that they need. And if not enough people can actually get the machine to justify the news announcement of launching a big game, we might see delays on software that is ready. And Horizon actually might be ready for this year, but they may, in their wisdom, say this. Let's wait. Let's sell more PlayStation 5s.
There's got to be something for holiday.
Yeah.
They're going to have a punch in the face for holiday because it's the holiday season.
Wouldn't it be insane if it was an Insomniac game? It's like, what? They're just like, whoosh, get us something new. We bought you guys. Make games. Go.
You guys did those other games really good. Can we have another one by end of year? Like, end of year? New IP too. Just come up with something new. Okay.
Man. That would be crazy. Okay, so let's have a prediction talk then a little bit, because I think I'm in the same boat with you. Like I want to play stuff that's coming out in 2021, but
Bug
we're so
Snacks
close.
2. Let's go.
I don't know if we're gonna get
more.
that.
More snacks. That's what I want.
What do you have for predictions? And I guess they would be hopes and dreams
for everything.
Yeah, for anything.
I don't know. I would hope we get over this chip shortage and more people can get the new consoles, so we can get those games to come out on time.
Of you. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, I mean, I want other people to enjoy the new stuff, so then we can get more new stuff for the new stuff.
Yes,
before
I feel
newer
that too,
stuff
though.
comes out.
I totally get what you're saying, because I do feel the guilt of, it's my job to review this stuff and talk about it, but it does feel a bit weird to talk about this new PS5 or Xbox Series X thing that I'm playing, and half my comments are like, "You're lucky
can't wait to get one.
Can't even get one." And I get it. I get that anger. And yes, we got to get over this stupid hump for sure. Especially like we're 6 months, 7 months into this at this point. More than that.
Half a year over.
It's insane.
Of console life.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so a prediction from E3 announcements and summer announcements is, if you want it, you can get it.
Yeah.
That would be great. Okay.
Like,
now,
we've doubled down on creating consoles, not just games. We want everybody to play it. But the thing that sucks is, like, you don't know how many are in the hands of the scalpers, right?
I know.
So you're just like, you overproduce and people are just like, the same scalpers are buying the same thing. It's the same thing like being a sneakerhead. Like, I love my shoes.
Yeah.
I like to have a good pair of shoes. When a new shoe drops, everybody's on the apps getting it. And then the resale market is just bananas, because that's a thing now.
I know, it's crazy.
And now people have turned the console market into the sneakerhead market, and it's just like, you get those fresh pair of PlayStation Jordans.
That's crazy.
Pretty sick.
I still have a boxed pair of the first Nike crossover shoes, and they were shoes that were used for. They looked super sci-fi back then. They were. In the Aliens movie, they had shoes that kind of borrowed from that. And I love the shoes. I bought a pair that I was wearing all the time, and then I bought an extra pair, and I stuck them in. They're in storage somewhere. And I have a crazy. Well, I'll show it another day. I have a pair of Adidas.
There are new PlayStation 5 Nikes coming out next month.
I know. I cheekily sent my size to Sony, like they would ever send me a pair of those.
You were a size 14 too?
They sent me the press release, and I said, nice. 9.5. And I send.
They're like, you gave our shoe release a score?
Yeah.
No, that's my shoe size. I give this release a 14 out of 10.
And I did talk about them. I did mention them in the rundown, but it's important. Like the minute these things are available, gone, history. Okay, so we both want more hardware for people to be able to collect, and and hopefully once and if this Nintendo Super Switch is announced, there will also be the announcement that we're making tons of them. Don't worry, if you want one, you can get it. Because that's going to be
their hardware announcement. The thing that we're working on is building more.
That thing in the fall and holiday season. I mean, there's going to be riots, man.
Yeah.
And now people can like be in close contact with each other. So there's going to be lineups and riots in front of video game stores out there. Okay, let's talk about software though. What do you want to see?
I would love Spelunky 3. Dead Cells 2. Ooh, that'd be a shocker.
It took them years to make Spelunky 2.
It did, 7 years.
We're not going to see that at E3.
Okay. I don't know. Again, it's for E3. It's the surprise stuff. I want to be like, what? I wasn't even thinking they were working on something like that, and it's going to be out by the end of the year. The unknown is what I'm always excited for. It's like stuff I saw a couple years ago at E3 or heard about last year. I'm just like, oh, okay, I expect that stuff, but it's the things that are just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
They got a sequel coming out for that, or a brand new thing for this?
Can you remember a reveal that hit you like a ton of
Shenmue
bricks?
3, man.
At E3, yeah.
Yeah, because I was just like, we were tweeting about it, and they did something, and I was just like, what is happening? And I tweeted something about Last Guardian, and then they showed Last Guardian, and it was coming out. It was like, and I just tweeted, if they show Shenmue 3, I'm going to lose my mind. And then Shenmue 3 comes walking to the stage, and I was like, pre-order Kickstarter. Doop, 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 doop. Done.
The Cory Barlog.
Still haven't played it.
the Cory Barlog reveal of.
Hold on a second.
Oh, you got to go. Oh, we got a baby delivery.
Look at my baby.
My goodness.
She wants to make an appearance.
Hello. Look at this.
Look at my little baby.
Bonus streamer.
Hi.
Hello. Oh my gosh.
She's camera shy.
Beautiful.
You want to say hi to the guys? Say hello.
Oh,
baby.
it's the scene from Lion King. I love it.
Hi, baby, mama. Hi, baby. Hi, baby.
Oh my god.
That's the best. That's the best reveal.
I love that. I love that Melissa didn't even say a damn thing. She's like shook her head at you.
She's like, "Do you want the kid?" Yeah, she wants to be on the stream.
She's over it, and she's over you.
She loves. She's a streaming pro.
I love
That's
it.
my baby.
That is amazing. The Cory Barlog. Speaking of fathers, the Cory Barlog God of War reveal from E3, I think, was one of the most shocking things that I saw.
Yeah.
But then also you can go back to because I've been at all of them, so I can remember the Zelda.
They announced Crash Bandicoot 2. I was like, well,
I like that one.
This is going to be a fantastic sequel to a great game.
The Ocarina of Time announcement that they did for I'm not kidding. That was incredible. Because
I'm not joking at all.
Yeah, that was just insanity. And then of course they did that again with Breath of the Wild.
We went to that Nintendo reveal and they said, we just want you to play the games. And there was a 2-hour presentation before we could play the games. Damn it, Reg.
Yeah, we remember those for sure. Okay, now let's pick one that you think is going to be shown off at E3 that you are very, very hyped for.
I want to pick something that I think would be unexpected, but I can't really thought about it. New rock band. What? Shake the world up.
Yeah.
It's been so long. Remember the time that we
I
were
was
just
thinking
bombarded?
about Rock Band yesterday, man.
Dude.
I was thinking about it yesterday. I play guitar to chill out sometimes after I unplug from all the screens, and I literally have 4 freaking screens in front of me right now. It's insanity. But it's good to relax. And I was thinking about Rock Band and saying that would be, it's time, I think. But I don't
Remember
think
when there
they
was
should,
just all the time? It was just like another music game, another thing.
they shouldn't tie it to the hardware. They shouldn't make it for the consoles. They should partner with, I mean, if Stadia was a real thing.
SteamPal.
Well, it should be like a smart app on a TV, you know, and it should be perpetual. There should be a sense of like, you know, when the hardware cycle is over, what do I do with all these things? It should never feel like that. You know, there should feel like these plastic instruments that you're going to have are going to live on, or maybe have multi-use or something like that. But I think they got sort of stuck into that. It was only relevant for as long as that console generation was relevant. You know?
I don't know. What do you expect? What surprise are you like?
I want not Mass Effect. I want Metroid. I want Metroid love like crazy.
Obviously, Vic.
Yes.
A less obvious answer.
Okay, Donkey Kong.
Kid Icarus.
I'm very psyched for this Bethesda Microsoft reveal. I feel like this is the beginning of what Microsoft is going to be showing off for their next consecutive rounds of years.
Is Bethesda still doing their own presentation?
No, it's all tied in.
Okay, I was going to say, because I was like, it's like double dipping in the Xbox spectrum for they're like, we're going to do our Xbox presentation, and then that night Bethesda's going to do theirs. It's just also going to be an Xbox presentation.
No, they're tying it all together, which is incredible. That's a lot of force, you know. There's
Fallout 5.
A lot of, you know, Bethesda experiences, but also I really want to see Microsoft start to deliver on those acquisitions. I would love to see Metroid. I would love to see Donkey Kong. I would love to see Sony surprise us with more stuff like Returnal. You know, because they've done an incredible job at building exclusive franchises that we want to see sequels on. I would love to see a new Uncharted game if that's happening. But I also want more surprises. I want to, and even reinventions like God of War. You know, even if they go back and they say, this is what the new Twisted Metal is, and you can play as Sweet Tooth and it's Grand Theft Auto, but it's...
I was just talking about that the other day, too.
Wouldn't that be insane?
You know, you can... a new Twisted Metal game?
Right.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be really, really cool. You know what? I'm going to have you back, and we're going to talk about this stuff as it's being revealed and announced.
Okay.
That sound all right?
Yeah, I guess. I ain't doing nothing.
Right. And people are talking about Marissa, and there'll be some other people that will be on the show soon for sure as well. But I think that's pretty good. We talked about the topics. Anything else you want to get off your chest? Anything else you want to say?
No. You know, I'm excited for games, man. Faux E3 is happening. We'll get plenty. All the next few weeks are going to be just bombardments of announcements of like this thing and this. Check your email. Here's a blast on this. Like I got a Dying Light 2 tube a week and a half ago. That was like, I was like, what is this? And it was just a flashlight with a poster.
That's awesome.
And I was like, and you use the black light on the poster, and it's like, tune into Twitch, and we'll be doing our reveal. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Thanks.
That is super cool. I loved what they did with that reveal, by the way. The whole set that they had, and they're moving around background imagery. That was very cool, very classy. Well, my friend, I will definitely, don't go away. Don't go anywhere. I'll reach out to you.
I got nowhere to go.
I know you're locked in your room,
Pandemic.
just like me. Is basement power. But I'll be back in touch soon. Thank you very much for joining me today, Jose Sanchez. You can follow him at Don Fubar on Instagram and Twitter. Is that your Twitch channel as well?
It's Don_Fubar on Twitch.
Don_Fubar. Thank you, good sir. Always very, very fun to chat with you. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you soon. Have a fantastic weekend, and make sure whatever you do, you play forever.